So last generation had released quite a few RPGs that reminded me of why this genre is still one of my favorites in gaming to this very day. And one of those RPGs I would probably mention is Xenoblade Chronicles 2 and its expansion Torn of the Golden Country. But what if I was to say that there's another RPG that really took me by surprise? An RPG that captured my heart and arguably one of the best RPGs of this generation. And that game is called Yakuza Like a Dragon. And if you're a fan of role-playing games or looking to give this genre a try, then here are 3 reasons why you should play this incredible game. And the first reason would be that it's a good entry game into the Yakuza series. Now, the Yakuza series is traditionally an action brawler RPG that follows a Yakuza member named Kiryu Kuzuma, but things begin to change with Yakuza Like a Dragon. Unlike the series' traditional gameplay, Sega decided to have this game become more of a turn-based RPG to reach a broader audience, which was a great idea in my opinion because it sure captured my attention. Now, Yakuza Like a Dragon is the 7th entry in the series, but you need no prior knowledge to necessarily play this game because this game follows a brand new protagonist named Ichiban Kasuga, along with other new characters that would join him on this mission. So now new players have a starting point to jump into the series instead of having to go back and play through the previous 6 titles in order to catch up to actually understand what's going on. You don't have to do that. You can just jump right into this game with a brand new story and a set of characters, which is definitely was a good idea. So, second is its gameplay. I would definitely say gameplay is because gaming is a form of entertainment, so it has to be fun to play. And Yakuza Like a Dragon most certainly delivers in that regard. Now, its approach to combat, exploration, and character building are some of the most engaging aspects of the game. Sega had taken a much different approach to the game's combat compared to the previous Yakuza games that came before it. Well, Yakuza Like a Dragon decides to shift the combat into a more traditional turn-based RPG where the player take turns issuing out orders to their lineup of characters while the enemy wait for their turn to enact their commands. Now, this decision may seem bizarre at first, but trust me, the level of depth found in the combat is what makes it so addictive. Like, Sega was able to blend traditional combat elements found in the traditional Yakuza combat mechanics with traditional turn-based RPG gameplay mechanics. Now, your party are able to interact with various different objects littered throughout the battlefield to add additional damage to their enemies. Even though it's turn-based, it has the feel of an action brawler with its intense speed and impact with every blow delivered to the enemies, with various different weapons and level interactions depending on where the combat takes place. Now, the combat has an arcade style feel to it, and despite it being a turn-based RPG, because of its fast-paced combat, it still feels like an action brawler RPG of the traditional Yakuza games. Each split decision can be interrupted by enemies, or you can intervene enemy attacks in order to protect your party members. How you equip your characters and how you approach each battle makes it very fast-paced and still makes it feel like a traditional Yakuza game. Now, exploration plays a big part in this game. The game is an open world experience where you can traverse the Yokohama district and later Kamurocho, Tokyo, and other districts. Now, as you progress through the game's story, more areas within the district will open up that will allow you to freely roam to find new quests and NPCs. There's so much to do in this game, and I don't even know where to begin. There's like a ton of mini games like driving go-karts and even building a business of your own and hire employees that you meet on the streets of the Yokohama district. You can actually go to board meetings and also invest in the stock market, which I just thought it was so crazy. Like, wow, this game is really going into detail and in depth of which you can do. And you can also become a hero by joining a guild in order to pick up requests from victims that are being terrorized by bullies and criminals. And there's also arcades littered around these districts as well to allow you to play some of the Sega classics, similar to what you're able to find in Shenmue. And that's the type of feel that I get from the Yakuza game, especially Yakuza Like a Dragon. It does have that Shenmue feel, and it's pretty much literally a game within a game, which I just find really, really cool. And lastly, within this gameplay, it's also the character building found within the game's job and class system. You can fully customize and create the perfect team any way you like. There are different occupations you can choose from which are pretty unique. You can also have a tank, which is someone that has high defense and is pretty much the meat shield of the party, and also a healer and a party member that deals the most damage. Now, certain jobs can also be unlocked by completing certain quests along the way, which also allows you to push farther in the customization area. Now, these skills you learn from each job can carry over to other jobs that you decide to switch over to, and you can change your job anytime you like, so experiment until your heart's content. Now, we cannot forget about the weapon and armor crafting in this game as well. You can craft items by finding resources scattered around throughout the district, and you can also increase the store's capability to create strong weapons to make your gameplay experience even more fun. And I'll give you a perfect example of that. As I started progressing through the game, I started gathering all these resources. And I get to the shop and I actually invest more money into the customization shop so the shop owner can create more powerful weapons for us. And I stumbled across this purse that I created for Psycho. Now, I had no idea how effective this purse is because some weapons also have special effects to them. So as I put this purse on her, I'll tell you this. I was so broken by the time I made it to the end of the game because this purse, essentially what it does is, and I haven't switched from this purse ever since, even though I have found a much better weapon for Psycho, I decided to keep this weapon on her because it had the best effect to it. What this purse pretty much does is, it makes the enemy simp for her, pretty much. You hit them and hearts go above their heads and they essentially attack the enemies for her. So pretty much what I did was, once I attacked the enemies, put them in simp mode and don't attack them anymore, and just keep attacking other enemies and have the other enemies fight her battles and fight our battles for us. And it was the perfect weapon. I felt unstoppable once I had pretty much crafted this purse for Psycho. That is a perfect example why you really definitely need to look into how the crafting system works. I think it's really fun. But the final reason you should give this game a try is because of its engaging story. Now, if you're into RPGs or if you're new to RPGs, what makes role-playing games such a fun experience is the game's character developments and the story and how you evolve with these characters and understand these characters. And I definitely don't want to spoil this game's story, but I do want to say this. If you ever decide to give this game a try, you would not be disappointed with the game's story. By the time I reached the end, I literally shed a tear. And the only game that was able to do that before this game was Xenoblade Chronicles 2, the Golden Country Returner expansion. This game offers some of the best cast of characters found in modern JRPGs. And I would say this. I would say that I rank this cast of characters on my personal list of RPG casts with the likes of Final Fantasy VII and Xenoblade Chronicles 2. That says a lot for me because I'm very critical of characters and their development when it comes to RPGs. Now, I felt a personal connection with them, and when the game ended, and by the time it ended, I really wanted to spend more time with them because they are making a sequel. They did announce that a sequel is happening, and it became one of their most successful Yakuza series of this date. Now, the game also allows you to get to know these characters through its gameplay, which I found fun and I found quite like thrilling. Now, there's a relationship system found in this game where you can enter a bar and have small talk with the party. These are moments where I really look forward to hearing what each party member has to share with Ichiban. After hearing out some of the side stories, it increases your relationships with them, and this pretty much affects combat, which allows them to pretty much use sneak attacks and even capitalize off of one another during battle, which makes it all more worth it in the end. That the game rewards you when it comes to the combat, when you decide to go in and get extra tidbits and extra lore behind these characters. And that's pretty much it when it comes to these three reasons. Like I said before, this is a perfect entry level to get into the Yakuza game because of its gameplay mechanics, and also for the fact is that it's a new story to dive right into without any prior knowledge. And of course, like I said before, the gameplay is where it's at. There's a lot for you to actually engage in with its class system, its many different quests and mini quests by exploring throughout this world. And especially if you're new to JRPGs or RPGs in general, this is definitely a good starting base with its combat, especially for those who never played a turn-based RPG ever before. And then lastly, we cannot forget, of course, the story. Like I said before, you would definitely love the story. So that wraps up this video. If you definitely enjoyed this video, you definitely need to give me your thoughts in the comment sections below. Have you ever tried the Yakuza series, or Yakuza Like a Dragon more specifically? Definitely leave your thoughts in the comment sections below. What do you feel about the game after you played it? And if you have never played a Yakuza game or Yakuza Like a Dragon, after seeing this video, would you love to give this game a try? Is this something that's up your alley? And I would say, if it is, definitely give it a look. So if you like the video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and also don't forget to hit that bell to be notified for more news related to JRPGs or RPGs in general. This is MugenLord signing off. I'll see you game fiends later. Peace out.